Being disrespectful is not natural. It's a learned behavior. It's always the ones that have sisters. And where did you come from? Who birthed you? But what you're doing right now is misogynistic, it's sexist, and you need to stop. And you need to stop yesterday. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian, and today we are doing a deep condition and chat episode. If you want me to do another episode of deep condition and chat, comment down below your requests and I'll be happy to do a video. So today we have a very juicy topic, and it's going to be why I personally don't like using the phrase men are trash. I personally do not like using the phrase men are trash for a couple of reasons. So keep watching this video to hear my points. Let's get into it, because I'm talking too much. Every episode of Deep Condition and Chat, we do a ponytail length check. So let's do our ponytail length check for this episode. Okay, so the back's still not really getting there, but here is the ponytail length check for this episode. So the first reason that I don't like saying men are trash is because being trash is a personal choice.
Oh, that's a huge crime. Somebody take it to jail.
I personally believe that there are trash humans in general, and it just so happens that a certain group of people that are trash human beings just so happen to be members of the male species. Why do you say the male species, Christian? That's rude. I say male species because I believe that just because you are the age of the stereotypical man, some people that are in that age range act like little boys. So you can be a member of the male species, and based on your maturity level, you can get the term boy or man, and it has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with maturity level. So some members of the male species just feel very entitled, and they feel like the world revolves around them. And that's really, really sad. Now, I totally agree that there are a lot of toxic things, toxic masculinity, just very unhealthy things that go on by some members of the male species, but I just don't feel like the phrase men are trash is productive or conducive to creating an environment where if I was getting the critique, I would feel like the other party had faith that I could do better than what I was currently doing. Okay, so for my second point, I don't like saying men are trash because men do not come out of their mother's wombs saying disrespectful things and participating in disrespectful actions. When you use the verb are, it is kind of inferring that that is that person's natural way of being. Being disrespectful is not natural. It's a learned behavior.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
And so for that reason, I don't like the phrase men are trash. Number 3. My third point is that children learn from watching. And this is very true. Children learn and their brains are like sponges. So what they see when they are younger, if that's an abusive father, if that's a unfaithful father who was always issues with infidelity, then that's what they're going to think is acceptable. And although I don't think it's an appropriate behavior or way to act, it's a learned behavior. So you can't blame somebody for being a sponge. They were just observing and then they just happened to pick up that behavior. But you get to a point in your adulthood where you learn right from wrong, and then you can go and change your trajectory because you didn't know when you were younger that, you know, these things were bad. You just were modeling after what you saw. So after the point where you find out what you have been doing and or saying is toxic, then you have the opportunity, if you want to change, to stop doing those actions. Phrases like boys will be boys and locker room talk are used to excuse trash behavior. I've heard things like boys will be boys from a certain person that is almost getting evicted from his house. Yeah. I've heard things like that, and I don't like that there are phrases that kind of excuse bad behavior. And so instead of saying things like, oh, men are trash, boys will be boys, like, I hope that I'm properly articulating the point that I'm trying to make. You can address the behavior without attacking the whole species of males, if that makes sense. Number 6 is any learned behavior can be unlearned, but only if the guilty party wants to change. Now this is a key point in my argument. Everybody does what they want until they want to stop. So after you notify said party that what they have been doing, saying, blah, 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 is not right, the ball is in their court if they want to make changes to their previous behavior. That is not on you. Once you notify somebody that, hey, this is unhealthy, this is inappropriate, get with the times. Being trash is a choice. If that person wanted to change, first of all, they have to know. They might even be ignorant because, like I said, most behaviors that adults display were learned from childhood. So they may not even know that what they're doing or saying is wrong until you bring it to their attention. But after you bring it to their attention, you can't really do anything about it after that. All you can do is notify them about, you know, what they did. My final point is that, unfortunately, men are trash is sometimes used as a phrase to justify the behavior of some members of the male species as it relates to how they treat the women in their lives. And most women have been taught that they have to fight to keep a man, or they have to do things in order to keep a man. And so, oh, men are visual creatures, so they can look at this woman in this type of way, even if we're together, you know, that's just how men are. Or how do you expect me to be faithful when there are just so many good-looking women out here? And like, you know, I don't expect my husband to be faithful to me. You know, it's hard for men because they're visual. Like, all of these sayings and things like that, I just don't think that the phrase men are trash is a phrase that we should keep in the rotation of things to say to rebuttal bad behavior. And I hope that I am articulating well, but do you guys have any suggestions? Because I don't know what else. I personally don't like when somebody has an issue with something, but they don't have an alternative. But I really am having trouble with coming up with another phrase that can be said to not excuse the behavior, but to acknowledge that it is wrong without saying to the guilty party, you are trash. Because I just don't, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this because I see that there's an issue. I have the points to back it up, but I don't really know how to verbalize a new catchphrase. Or, you know, I don't even know if I should have a catchphrase, but this is definitely something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. I hope that you guys are honestly understanding the point I'm trying to make, which is men were not born displaying trash behavior. And so I feel that we should encourage, and I'm not even saying you should educate, because I always feel like it's on the victims. It should not be the victim's responsibility to have to educate the uneducated. But what I'm saying is, I kind of feel like you should just say, you know what you're doing right now is misogynistic, it's sexist, and you need to stop. And you need to stop yesterday, because it's always the ones that have sisters. And where did you come from? Who birthed you? Y'all talk about women like they weren't. Shout out to Tupac. Like, I really need you guys to give me suggestions, because this has been something that's been on my mind for a while, ever since the menaretrash movement has started, and also the why do men movement. But honestly, I feel like it's because men have been taught that they can just have whatever they want as long as they work for it, never take no for an answer. And for some things in life, career, that's cool. But when it comes to women and their livelihood, there needs to be a boundary, and when you cross it, you need to get checked. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me comments and suggestions down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.